Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Cherika Brown, of course. We're on another episode of Cherika Be Talking because I be talking. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about should you be cooking and cleaning for a man before you're married to him? Are you single until you're married? And this topic comes from a reel that I saw on Instagram. The reel was like over 2 minutes. And it was basically a woman saying that you are single until you're married. And she went on this rant talking about you don't need to be cooking and cleaning and making marry me chicken to be a pick me to make a man want to marry you, and you shouldn't be doing all of these house duty things that you're like performing to prove that you're worthy of being married. You just don't need to be doing any of those things until a ring is on your finger, until you can file your taxes and your taxes are joint and you're no longer single on your tax papers. You are single until you married. And I disagree with this. Y'all know this. If you aren't new to this channel, you know that I disagree with this. I get what the girls are trying to get at, and the men that give this advice are trying to get at when they give this advice, but I disagree with it. And what was interesting to me, I say this whole 2 minute rant, the only thing that she explained as wife duties were life skill things that both men and women should know how to do, cooking and cleaning and those type of things. But she had over 5,000 likes, of course, because it's the internet, it's the world. The world is typically going to agree mostly with stuff that are not like God centered or a message that's really coming from a place that is a spiritual awareness place and more so of a pride, ego, or worldly type thing. And while these women call, certain things pick me behavior, the very behavior that she's trying to prove, because every woman now, it seems like I'm saying a thing where women have to prove their toughness and their badness, and that in a sense they're worthy of marriage and that they are wife material because they're not willing to do certain things for men in order to be married, is working against the whole agenda of what they think they're pushing out. And in my opinion, who you are when you are single is who you will be when you're married. So you're not single until you're married. When you are single, you're in a covenant with yourself, and it should be with God. So you should be being faithful to yourself, faithful to your creator, and faithful to your belief system. The problem with telling women, especially online, to people that you have to spell every little thing out to, that they're single until they're married, that people associate singleness with going sleeping around, you know, dating multiple men in a sense of not just dating, but actually sleeping with the men, and, just having this roster full of nobodies and bombs, essentially, because when you look at the dating pool out here, there aren't quality people to be to be having talking to five people at a time, unless you're cutting them off as quick as you're meeting them, if we're being honest and real. And what was interesting to me, this whole video, to get the lights and to appease the people and to make it sound good, not once did she say, and this should include withholding sex and not having sex before marriage or outside of marriage. Sometimes, if you want to tell a message, if you want to speak, and if you want to teach people, you'll even have to step on your own toes. And one thing that comes with being single, if you have any type of belief system on this channel, we believe in Jesus Christ, we believe in God, that comes with not sleeping around and protecting your temple and conserving yourself. And that has nothing to do with being a pick me, but everything to do with caring about yourself, loving yourself, and protecting your health. I would much rather cook and clean for a man than sleep with him. But a lot of people, what y'all not understanding, especially women, is that you can withhold cooking and cleaning all day, but if you giving him what he won't see no point in marrying you, because you already doing the main thing that he want to do with you. What she's using a woman for is your body. But nobody ever want to say or state the elephant in the room, because if she say that, she'll bring out too much controversy. People won't agree with her message because everybody is fornicating, everybody's sleeping around, and it's like, yeah, we're single to marry. Don't be cooking for a man and iron his clothes and all this and that. I cook and clean for my friends. I can be at my friend's house and we get hungry and I'll cook us all a burger. To me, I'll much rather cook for a man than be sleeping with a million men out here with all of the diseases and the wickedness in this world today. I think everybody, whether you're in fornication or not, should be pushing the agenda that, hey, you need to hold out on that until you're with somebody in a covenant and you're only with this person and you both are supposed to be vowing to only be messing with one another and nobody else. But everybody is so afraid to put out those type of messages because that's not what's popular. That's not what's gonna get the likes. Like, you gotta just tell them the basic stuff. Like, don't cook for a man, don't wash his clothes, don't do this, don't do that. That stuff, like, those are very minute things. Like, yes, it takes a lot to cook, it takes a lot to clean, and of course I don't think you should be around here performing for a man that's not your husband, like you cooking him straight five-course meals and stuff every single night or every single day. But cooking for somebody that you're interested in every now and then and him reciprocating it every now and then, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no harm in that. The problem comes from y'all speaking from hurt, where you thought a man would be your husband and you were performing to make a man want to marry you, and you were busting your butt cooking and cleaning and overplaying your part. And now you want to spew out the message that you shouldn't be doing that for a man at all. No, it's okay to have acts of kindness and good gestures. That's how you show people that you're interested in them and that you like them. You're not Relationships shouldn't be tit for tat where I'm not cooking or cleaning because I don't have a ring yet. If your heart tells you, hey, I want to share my favorite meal with him today, nothing is wrong with that. But what's wrong is when you're giving people access to your body and exchanging bodily fluids and spirits and STDs and STIs and contracting things with someone you're not in a covenant with. That's when you have an issue. And also with the you're single until you marry, you create these demonic spirits because different women hearing that message will take that differently. You'll have women out here starting to say, if a man tell him, yeah, I got a girl, tell her, yeah, I have a girlfriend, like, you single till you marry. I don't care about her. And any woman that run across my quote unquote boyfriend and I date with intention and hopes to be married. Any woman run across my boyfriend and tell him, "Oh, I don't care about her. You single. You single. Where your ring at?" She gonna have a problem with me because that's disrespectful. If someone, in order to get to marriage, you have to date a person. You have to agree that, hey, we're mutually liking each other, and now we're no longer dealing with other people, and we're possibly planning to be married in the future, but we're getting our ducks in a row. We're making sure our lives align in that building stage. But technically, you're not married. You don't want no woman coming disrespecting what you have, or a man don't want a man coming disrespecting what he got just because, oh, I don't see no ring. You ain't married. So you have to be very particular with what you're telling people when you decide to have a voice and get on the internet and start talking, because people will take your message sometimes literal, and sometimes people will take the message and twist the message to make it sound good because it's justifying their bad behavior or their unacceptable behavior. And you have to realize sometimes you're withholding the fullness of what you need to be saying because you may not all the way be where you want to be or need to be in the topic or the situation that you're discussing. So instead of focusing on little things like, oh, you shouldn't be cooking and cleaning and all of this for a man, you would think a woman would know that. But like I just spelt it out in my video, I'm not saying bust your butt and become somebody's maid or private chef. What I'm saying is, let's get to the point where things stop having to be tit for tat and you're genuinely moving from a good place in your heart. And if you want to do something because you genuinely want to do it, it's okay to do it. However, focus on the bigger spiritual part of relationships and know what's worth withholding and what's worth sharing. And if you ask me, withholding your body and your temple is much more important than withholding sharing communion over a meal or washing somebody's clothes because maybe they worked late and you just wanted to take that little burden off of their plate, and it wouldn't harm you to clean some dishes and go on about your business. Y'all give this bad advice because y'all are essentially performing because you want a man to marry you, and you don't realize that until you realize it. So it's okay to give advice based on your perspective and your experience in life, but make sure you have examples and things to back it up with. Otherwise, you're just putting things out into our communities and into the world out of your personal hurt, and it's doing more harm than it is helping. But I hope this message helps somebody and y'all understand where I'm coming from with this. And I just want us to get to a place where it's not men versus women and don't do this and don't do that and do this and do that. And where it's just be yourself, operate from love, and leave situations knowing that you gave it your all without giving too much of yourself, but you didn't withhold love for the sake of trying to win a situation. But y'all know I'll be back because I'll be talking. Peace.